Hey everyone, I'm Matt, and we're looking at the USS Omaha 2019 UFO incident. Apparently it's one of the best captured on video. Let's take a look.
We want to return to the encounters of July 2019. Several naval warships, including the USS Omaha, are conducting exercises off the coast of California. For days, they report being tailed by drone-like objects at night. And now, at 11 p.m. on July 15th, the Omaha is about to record some of the most compelling video of the modern UFO era.
It seems to be a thing now that everything's compared to a drone. Like, there's a UFO captured, and because it's not doing something completely outlandish in terms of flight characteristics, or what does Lou Elizondo call it? The 5 observables, which I think 7 now. Then it's all classified as a drone.
Took off. Let's book it.
This leaked footage, obtained by filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, comes from inside the ship's Combat Information Center. It shows a sphere-like object flying near the ship in windy and choppy conditions.
Break Omaha, pick me.
The problem with, is it infrared night vision? Like when it shows heat, it radiates, so it looks like it's an orb when it might not be.
Kid, Rafael Peralta, pass ability to launch Hilo ASAP.
Whoa, it's getting close.
This is happening the same month.
We can shoot it down then.
The Green Pyramid footage.
I'm not advocating that, but this is approaching a battle carrier group, and if it's getting close enough, then surely you would have to engage it.
Was shot on board the USS Russell, another ship participating in these exercises. The Omaha is concerned enough to prepare to launch a helicopter when the object appears to dive into the ocean.
Whoa, splashed. Mark bearing and range.
Unconfirmed reports say the Omaha and a nearby submarine proceeded to search the water for signs of the object, but found nothing. The crucial element in this video is the plunging into the ocean, classifying this as a so-called Transmedium UFO.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily so. Transmedium means it can move from space into the atmosphere, into water. It might have been something that's just crashed.
An object that appears to possess amphibious capabilities. In other
Only if it comes back up again.
words, a USO, an unidentified submerged object.
This is a belief based on data, based on what other navies, including our own, have seen in the ocean. So it's possible that these unknown objects are playing cat and mouse with our own submarines.
Somewhere there's a giant UFO at the bottom of the ocean with a shipwrecked over it. If you know, you know.
USOs have been documented by the U.S. Navy for decades, including the famous Aguadilla incident off the coast of Puerto Rico in 2013. In that case, a DEA plane recorded this footage of an object circling the airport, then heading out to sea and entering the water at high speed, then re-emerging.
I think I have seen a video on that one, and somebody said that it doesn't actually submerge in water. The reason it disappears is because it's the same temperature of the water. I'm not sure if that was an Arrow investigation report. So it looks like it's splashed down, but it actually, the reason it blends in is because it's the same temperature as the background water.
One theory posits that ETs are either exploring the Earth's oceans as well as its skies, or that perhaps they have underwater bases we're unaware of.
Possibly.
Maybe alien life forms could have made it to us, and if they got here, where would they go? They know we're intelligent. So they would go where we are not. And where we are not is in the deep ocean.
James Cameron's down there, though. Aliens are bumping into James Cameron. Just going about the daily lives, all of a sudden, boosh. James Cameron staring at you through the sub.
Say that's what Legends of Atlantis were about all along, an alien base for USOs. But it's important to note that all reported transmedium objects are not identical. For example, The Aguadilla footage from 2013 showed the object apparently emerging from the water and then splitting in two. In contrast, the more recent object seen on the Omaha just splashes down and disappears. No reemergence, no splitting, at least not on camera. So maybe this thing can be explained after all. Let's find out. Could it be a parachute flare? Unlikely, as it's
What parachute flares do you know that flies horizontally across the ocean?
moving across the water horizontally. A weather balloon. No
Again.
material was recovered in a search of the area, and a balloon would not lose its infrared heat signature that fast upon hitting the water.
Come on, it's quite obvious that it's swamp gas reflecting off the light from Venus.
We can see it maneuver from right to left. We can see it ascend abruptly. All of that is pretty inconsistent with any types of balloons, whether it's even an atmospheric testing balloon, that type of thing. If it's moving lighter than air, it's going to be carried by wind currents, but it's not going to have a propulsion system. There's not going to be a thrust that sends it into different directions.
And doesn't the colour infer that it's got heat?
You notice it moves across the water with some speed. A balloon wouldn't be moving across the water at high speed just to stop. So it's not a balloon, in my view.
Unlikely it's a plane. The object has no wings, and because it was captured on a thermal camera,
Could it not be a missile? Like a missile test?
we can see that its temperature is even on all surfaces. If it were a jet, it would appear much hotter at the rear exhaust nozzle. How about a drone, launched by an adversary trying to gather intel on our aerial defense capabilities?
It takes a large drone that's about the size of a plane to sustain flight time for hours. But these evidently were up in the air for hours, plaguing the ships. And the Navy says they still can't identify them.
I mean, that's shocking, right? You've got these seemingly unknown craft buzzing around your battle carrier group, and you've got no idea what they are.
If it was a drone, were they trying to tease the U.S. military? They wouldn't give away technology like that. They wouldn't let on that they had this technology. They haven't shot at it. They haven't done anything to it whatsoever. Yet it's falling and eventually landing in the water.
But what about when it hits the water? Even if a drone split apart on impact, you'd still expect the pieces to show up in
Ugh.
thermal impact.
The one thing that I always fear if I was in a plane is the fact that the pilot says, right, we're going to make a water landing. That would shit me up.
Instead, it just
I mean, yeah, crash landed anyway, but if he says we're going to make an emergency landing between concrete or water, I'd rather have concrete.
seems to disappear.
This object went into the water where any other type of aircraft, there should have been a crash, there should have been some debris. However, none was found.
So we've ruled out almost every possible earthly explanation. But we have to seriously consider that this object might have been a foreign military asset. On the other hand, how likely is it that the U.S. military would be unable to identify such objects no matter how sophisticated they might
Why are they not shooting it down?
be? Like the government, we're calling this a genuine UFO. But the report's vagueness leaves the topic wide open for further debate. That's why the UFO community is now clamoring for further disclosure, especially about those other 141 incidents that haven't been made public. We are eager to see where we go next. But for now, it might be wise to consider that when you look up at the night sky, someone might be looking back.
Yeah, I struggle to understand how any military across the world could be badgered by a load of unknown craft for days and not do anything about it. Like, do you not send your own drones? I mean, this is assuming that the government doesn't know what it is and that they didn't have these platforms that could take high-resolution images. Maybe it was US tech testing US tech. Who knows? But interesting. And where do you sit on the old UAP topic? I want to believe. I want to believe. Let me know. Anyway, you take care. I'll see you on the next one.